Hey, hey, Grammy nominees, what's up? And today I'm gonna do an album review on Spoon's Hot Thoughts. So Spoon is a indie rock band formed in Austin, Texas, with the frontman Britt Daniels. And I have been a Spoon fan for quite a while now. I really love their Inside Out, I Summon You, and my favorite Spoon song before Hot Thoughts was I Turn My Camera On. And after Hot Thoughts, I don't know what is my favorite song. I have to give that a little bit thought, but right now I'm talking about their latest album, which I didn't know they're gonna release a new album this year, so I am pretty excited for their new album. And one of my favorite Spoon songs is I Turn My Camera On, and that's really funky, punchy, and catchy. And then they released Hot Thoughts, which I didn't expect. And I'm surprised that they will release an album in 2017, and here we are with Hot Thoughts. So I'm gonna talk about some lesser significant tracks first, such as Do I Have to Talk You Into It and Whisper and I'll Listen to Hear It. These two tracks are, in my opinion, like connected tracks because they are really synth driven and they are danceable and spacey and futuristic, and they have this really indie electronic infused post punk rock sound to it that's pretty interesting. But also in another way, it also kind of feels a little bit um predictable for the band. I feel like the band knows where they're going, but these songs, it's a little bit formulaic, but nonetheless they are decent songs. And then we have First Caress, which is one of the most grooviest songs on the album. It has a really nice disco beat to it, and the vocals are also pretty nice by Britt Daniels. However, the lyrics on this song, coconut milk, coconut water, it's just it leaves a lot to be desired. But nonetheless, the First Caress, the instrumentals on that song is decent, and I think it is an okay song overall. Then we have a more sad and moody I Ain't the One. It's a really skeletal and personal ballad. Well, the moonlit rising, looking on me. And I think it's a decent song, although the ending doesn't really do much. But I feel like this really skeletal, expressive ballad is a pretty funny and interesting direction from Spoon. And I also surprisingly like Pink Up, which is a track in the middle of an album. A lot of people don't like it, but in my opinion, it's actually okay. It's basically this moody xylophone piece. But yeah, sometimes mumbling just sucks, but sometimes mumbling just helps the song grow on you a little bit more. And I feel like the first time I listened to Pink Up, it's a little bit underwhelming, but it kind of grows on me because of its really lay back kind of chord progression, and it just feels so relaxing and everything's okay kind of mood, and I kind of like Pink Up. We get our own ideas, go cut down some things you want. Hope you don't end up alone. Everything you think we are. And Pink Up is also like a predecessor of Us, which is basically the last track of the album. And Us is really weird. It's really weird. Spoon has experimented a lot insanely on this album, and the most surprising song is Us. Us is this abstract jazz piece where it suddenly pauses and resumes, and it has these horns, and there is no chorus or verses or any vocals on this thing. It's really abstract, and I really wanted to like Us, but it's not that impressive. It's like when a band is really well known for their solid songs, and they suddenly release this airy, spacey, interlude-ish track as an album ending. It's just, it kind of weirded me out. But then we have the song Shotgun, which is basically this very quick-paced, snappy, punchy guitar song where the whole song just speeds up and goes into you. Oh my gosh. I really love that song, and I also kind of like Tear It Down, which is very, again, it sounds like I Ain't the One. It's also kind of sad in a way, but then it hits the groovy parts, and then you started dancing to it. Tear It Down is also a pretty nice track. It's pretty nice. And then we also have Can I Sit Next to You? Can you sit next to me?
I've been down so long. I've been working on a plan, yeah. It's just that I've been down so long. I gotta give me my way.
Which is really catchy and fun. At first it's really punchy, and it's also kind of raw, and then the strings comes in with this psychedelic chord progression, and it's really memorable. I I never thought I would love the track that much, but it really grew on me. And my favorite track on this album is the album opener, Hot Thoughts Hooked in the Mind. I forgot the lyrics, but it's such an amazing song. Oh my gosh. It's definitely in one of the best songs of the year so far. In fact, it is in the top 5 songs of 2017 right now, in my opinion. Yes, I'm calling it. Um, Hot Thoughts is very groovy, very sexy, and danceable at the same time. I really love the sad and bittersweet descending chord progression. Like Radiohead's Creep, this song also has a bittersweet chord progression to it, which makes it very fantasizing, mesmerizing, and sexy in a way. And I really love it. It has its influences, and the vocals, the drums, the instrumentals on this thing, the whole song is just so cohesive and awesome. It's just awesome.
All of the time, babe. Hot thoughts all in my mind, all of the time, yeah.
And the hook, the guitar crisps, it's really catchy, and it's really danceable. It's the perfect song for a kind of dystopian montage for a movie or a TV show. It's really nice. It really is. At the end, Spoon's Hot Thoughts is a pretty nice album. Although it has its flaws, there are moments on this album where it kind of feels like the band is crazy. What are they doing? But there are also a lot of highlights on this album, which makes this band even smarter, it sounds like. And I also really enjoy their performances on this album and their consistent songwriting, music-wise. The lyrics, yeah, they can be better, but yeah, this album, it's good enough. It's good enough. And the band really experiments a lot on this album, which isn't really too big of a problem, but I think sometimes they just take it a little bit too far. But if they take this experiment a little bit more tastefully, but if they take this experimental music idea to a more tasteful and flavored level, I feel like they have the potential to make something groundbreaking for their band. And yeah, there are some formulaic songs on this album, but overall, this album actually sounds pretty nice. Yeah. The worst song is Us, and the best is Hot Thoughts. I'm giving Spoon's Hot Thoughts. I'm gonna be generous for this album. I'm giving it a 7 to an 8 out of 10. Definitely should check it out. So, have you listened to Spoon's Hot Thoughts? From 1 to 10, how much would you rate it? Like if you like, and subscribe if you want more.